My name is Upendanais Barasa. I moved to Japan to teach English from Kenya. If you're interested, subscribe. You don't want to miss it. Come on, join the bandwagon. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year, happy 2025. I'm very excited to be back and let's speak goals. And if your goal this year is to teach English abroad or move abroad, this is the right place for you. So stay tuned if you're interested. Let's get started. Okay, so today's video is about the application process and the interview process as well, because I'm very aware that when you start this whole application process, you're always curious as to what the next step is. So today I'm going to give you an overview of what to expect immediately after you hand in your application. So first of all, I think I need to put a disclaimer that being a new year and things have moved, things have changed. So the application process is now different. Even what you require is now different. So be on the lookout in the coming few weeks. I'll be giving you an updated version of what documents you would need to apply for a teaching position in Japan. Okay. So the first thing obviously is to hand in your application, but after you do that, what next? Because the application process is easy. I think I have a video on what and how to apply and where to apply, but at this point in time, you've handed in your application, so what next? So usually I think the dispatch companies in Japan tend to operate in the same way, and the process is kind of similar. It's not the same, but it's similar. So usually after your email has been read, your application has been submitted, and you have been, accepted, like this is a candidate that we would want to interview, the first thing they will do is they're going to send you a form to fill. So this form contains a number of questions, maybe between 5 to 10 questions, I think. And most of these questions are just to test your flexibility. This is a trick. I'm letting you in on this trick. So when you answer those questions, be flexible, because you'll see a question such as, are you willing to work in a rural area if you are selected? So if your answer is like no, they won't pick you. It's as simple as that. You have to be flexible and be open to the idea that, oh, I might not be placed in Tokyo, I might not be placed in Osaka, but I might be placed in a rural area. Is this something that I'm open to? So yes, depending on how you answer these questions, which I would advise, be very flexible, be open. Don't go there saying, oh no, I just want to be in an urban setting. What if they don't have positions in Tokyo? Think about that. So the first part, they'll send you a form to fill. So after you've been sent for a form, and they've gone through it, you will have your first interview. So after you've submitted your form that you filled and they like you and they still want to go on with you, there will be an interview set. Your first interview is usually a phone call interview. And later, I think I'm going to go over like how to prepare for your phone call interview. Basically, this phone call is going to be like less than 10 minutes or 10 minutes max. And they just want to gauge like how do you speak? Are you articulate? How's your accent? Like, at least that's what I got from that. They don't tell you that's what they're looking for, but I feel like that's what they're trying to gauge. Do you see where I'm going with this? So basically, the phone call interview is not like an actual interview, but they would ask questions like, oh, tell us about yourself. Why do you want to teach English in Japan? Basically, that's it. And you have to be, excited to sell yourself. But at the same time, be mindful, because I think the real test there is to see how well you can articulate yourself. After that, you'll be invited to a second interview. But before that, there are things that you will need to do, and they're going to tell you in a separate email. So after that phone call, the person will tell you, oh, okay, thank you so much, so and so. I'm going to send you an email after this inviting you to a second interview. So usually it is sent in a phone call, and maybe if it's not sent, it would be sent as an email, because even after they say it, they usually send an email. And this email will contain like information that they need from you. So your driver's license, if you have that, your bachelor's degree copy, you'll have to send a scan. Those documents. So it's a document submission email, and then a demo lesson. So as you submit your documents, you'll be asked to make a demo lesson, record yourself. They'll give you everything that you need to do. You don't have to worry about that. you will need to submit these things. And they would give you a deadline, maybe by this date, please be sure to submit, your peripherals. And then after that, they will now ask you to prepare for a face-to-face interview. So in this demo lesson, if you didn't do anything right, someone will tell you, oh, please redo this demo lesson, but try as much as you can to do it to perfection so that you don't have to redo it the second time. Yeah, because it's quite some work. It's easy, but not in doing. It's easy in saying, not in doing. So yeah, so first we said filling form that test flexibility, and then a 10-minute phone call, and then third, document submission and demo lesson. So you've said that they like you. They will set up a face-to-face interview. Usually it's on Skype or Zoom or whatever platform they decide to use. You will select a date yourself, and then you will have a face-to-face interview. And this interview is usually, I think, maximum 30 to 40 minutes long. It doesn't mean it will take that much, but usually that's what you should expect for it to last. 30 to 40 minutes, not an hour, but 30 to 40 minutes. I think that's great. So after you've gone through the second phase of the interview, in between, I don't remember where exactly this came in. I think during this document submission, you'll be sent for you'll be sent for a link to take an English test. So there's an English test that you have to do. They'll just send you a link and tell you, please access this, answer these questions, and you can only submit it once. So the test usually contains things to do with punctuation, pronunciation, and just basic grammar rules. You don't have to worry about. If you can speak and you understand the language, it should be easy. Like, the most problematic words like tomorrow, is it a double M or a double R? Or pronunciation, words like that. Identifying like grammar mistakes in a sentence or punctuation. It's just a simple English test. So after the second interview, the process is not complete. So usually at the end of the interview, they will tell you, we are going to contact your referees. And usually the referees, they're being asked for when you submit your documents. So during that process, they will ask you to write a CV, and they will ask you to provide 2 referees, academic and professional. And then after the interview, they're going to send an email to those referees that you provided them with. And after that, they're just going to wait. It's now a waiting game for your referees to respond to them, and then the company will get back to you and tell you, oh, your referees have responded. So during this time, you should alert your referees and tell them to expect an email from so-and-so company. Make sure they respond on time, because you getting the job and the position is very dependent on them responding to their email. So you have to be in touch with them and tell them, hey, expect an email today or tomorrow. But most of the time it's immediately, and sometimes it's during the interview. So they will just tell you, oh, so Peter, for example, I'm sending an email right now to your referees. Thank you so much for accepting this interview, blah blah blah, and that's it. So usually it's immediately after the interview or during the interview or before the day comes to an end. Okay, next is you will receive a confirmation. So my point here was confirmation emails of referees. So after the second interview and after your referees have been contacted, the next email that you receive will be telling you, or your referees have responded, and this is the next step. What is this next step? So the next step usually is your profile. So your profile is your name, your documents, your interview videos. It's usually recorded and everything. It's like your profile. So your profile will be sent out to branches within the company. So this company has branch A, B, C, and D. And branch A deals with a certain region of Japan. The same goes to B, C, and D. Your profile is going to be sent to at least 3 of those branches. So the branches are going to look at your profile and watch and see, is this a candidate that we are actually interested in? So if they say yes, you get offered a position. According to, I don't know if things have changed, but usually they will send to branch A. If branch A says no, your profile will be sent to branch B. Branch B says, I don't know about this one. And then branch C maybe would say yes. Minimum is they will send to 3 branches. If all 3 branches say no to you, it means that you're not getting the position. But if at least one says yes, lucky you. At least they'll send to at least 3. If all 3 say no, that's when you're told, you were not successful. But that is a waiting game, and that usually takes at least 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the time, but usually 2 weeks. If it's a holiday season, a bit longer. So right there is where you have to, cross your fingers. Yeah. So that's the last step. My last point was just wait for 2 weeks to confirm if you're successful. So number one, you'll fill a form. Number two, there's a 10-minute phone call interview. Number three, there's a document submission and demo lesson. Next is face-to-face interview, and then referees are contacted, confirmation emails from referees, profile is sent out to different branches, and lastly, you wait for 2 weeks to confirm if your application has been successful. So after it's successful, obviously they're going to send you an email telling you that you've been successful, and here are additional documents or what you would need to do to prepare to move to Japan. I hope this answers all your questions, guys. I think it is a great guideline. You don't have to be anxious about it. The companies understand the anxiety around these things, so they try as much as possible to always update. And they also encourage you to send emails to them in case you have any questions or you're worried about something. They always respond within 24 hours. Trust me, 24 to 48 hours, a week will not go by, 3 days will not go by. So don't be scared, just send that email. I hope this video was helpful. Take care of yourselves. Happy 2025. And as usual, if you have any questions, my email is in the description box. Be sure to reach out. See you again next time, same place, same time.